that's when I like went to my parents, like, sat them down saying, okay, I have a skill now. I need money to trade properly.
Sure.
So they gave me like obviously a bigger amount to trade with. But obviously I wanted like a bit more out of life. That's why I gave trading like a proper chance first. Because many people don't give it like a proper chance and then they'll call it a scam. Or they'll go in, Daddy, can you give me 1,000 rand? Mommy, 1,000 rand. I will blow that account. I will say, okay, let me go to my sister now. 1,000 rand, yeah. Bank your small profits along the way. It's going to add up throughout the week. It's going to compound, snowball effect. And Friday you're sitting there and you're smiling. People make it look so easy, but it's actually not.
They do, right?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm with somebody from Top Traders South Africa, and I'm bringing you guys another installment of Market Masters. And we're still on the Cape Town tour, as you guys can see by the background, the set, the design, the intro, everything. And we're still sitting down with Cape Town traders, but surprisingly today I'm sitting down with a Joburg trader, but we're both in Cape Town right now. I'm sitting down with Safwaan Muhammad. Yes, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
No, I'm great.
It's nice to be in Cape Town again. It's a very lovely place. The scenery, just beautiful.
It's gorgeous, right?
It's true.
Yeah, very gorgeous. I was actually having a discussion with one of my friends. He's basically like, yeah, but this place is just the same as Joburg. I'm like, yeah, I see you.
Right.
But look around.
I mean, if you compare like Joburg life to this, for me it's completely different. Like the service delivery, like all that kind of stuff. I mean, the views itself.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the ocean one side, you have the mountainous area on the other side.
Yeah.
For me, it's just way better. Joburg is just always like the hustle.
Yeah.
You just see cars everywhere. It's always big buildings. Everyone's in a rush.
Yeah.
If you make one wrong turn, people are swearing at you. Yeah. At least, it's a bit like more chilled. If you have to calm yourself down, just go to the beach, take a breath of fresh air. It's much more relaxed.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. Yeah, would you move this side?
I would actually. I am thinking about moving this side. I mean, there's a lot more like business opportunities this side here for me.
Oh, for you?
Yeah, because like with our broker being here, like it's a lot easier with like the offices to shoot content, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was just like thinking of moving. Not now, of course, maybe like I'm a bit older.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is a plan for the future.
Okay, no, that's beautiful. I think I'd want to retire this side, like eventually,
100%.
like retire. But I think life in Joburg for me is still working fine for me, as busy as it is. Yeah, so we're here to talk about your trading journey,
Right.
And we're here to get into it and just find out, what are the things that happened that made you who you are today, But obviously there was life before Forex.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and so can we just get into like life just before Forex?
Yeah. So essentially, before I was a trader, of course, I was going through like the entire journey of trying to make money online.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying like with like digital marketing, I was trying to do graphic design, tried to obviously do the dropshipping because I used to see like Iman cards and all these gurus online. And
can I ask about the dropshipping? I also tried dropshipping at some point. Didn't
work out.
Didn't work out. Yeah. How did that go for you?
So of course it was a complete fail. I mean, they like just sold you a book online, ebook, whatever it's called, and they say, here you go. Now the rest is on you to do. So you go through it, you try and learn like what to do. There's supply in China, in here, in there. You try and get into contact with them, they won't reply to you. This happens. You try building your Shopify store for $1. If you put that money in, it's like you only have $10 in your bank account. You put that $1 in. Now you must try and make it work, and then you must pay for ads on Facebook. It was like just too much of like admin behind it for me.
Yeah.
And then like with the shipping from China is this, that comes late, this is that, your customer refunds. That's why for me I like kind of like shied like away from it because it was too difficult to do basically.
Yeah.
I know if I put more time into it, maybe it might have worked out. But for me, I was like, there should be easier things. I mean, people make it look so easy, but it's actually not.
They do, right? Yeah, no, it's quite ridiculous. I thought it was the only one. Like I felt like, nah, this thing is like a mountain, a proper mountain to climb. I was like, no, I'm good. Yeah. All right, traders, let's talk about something that actually rewards you for trading. Not just the markets, but real, tangible rewards. Octa's Trade and Win program just dropped in South Africa, and it's basically a rewards vault that opens up every time you trade one standard lot. Here's how it works, and it's really simple. You trade one lot, which equals one prize lot. Any instrument, any closed position, the more you trade, the more prizes you collect. You're stacking these prize lots to unlock digital rewards like Uber Eats coupons, airtime, airport lounge access for your next trip, and even take a lot vouchers. It's not luck. It's not some random spin to win gimmick. You trade, you earn. That's simple. You can find all of this under the Trade and Win tab in the Octa app. Once you pick your gift, it lands within your hands within 5 working days. No delays, no expiry if you keep trading. If you're already trading, why not earn on top of that? It's that simple. Start collecting your prize lots today. Trade and win with Octa.
That's why, like, if you see even online, people are posting their Shopify dashboards, but they don't actually show you like what it takes to get to that point where you can refresh and then see, okay, you made 5K USD for the day or this or that. They just show you like the end result. They don't show you what you have to do to actually. Yeah, so like I was saying, like they don't show you like the end result of how to actually get there. But with trading, it was more so if you have that skill, it's just clear cut. You just go to your charts every day. You look for what your strategy is. If you're doing like ICT, support resistance, and that kind of stuff. If you see a setup, you take it, make your money, you withdraw. It's like a lot easier compared to many other side hustles that I was trying out. Because there was like a bit of like success with like graphic design that I was doing.
Oh yeah.
But of course it wasn't like enough to like sustain like my lifestyle that I wanted to live. Because there's only like so few people that have these big agencies and stuff like that that they can like obviously live off of that. For like a small time boy like me that was trying to do it, obviously was too hard. That's why when I started trading, I was like, okay, this year is something I can go big in. I have to just focus, lock in, and like learn the skill properly. Once I have the skill, then I can like, you know, take my trades, make my money, open up my signal groups, my mentorship, all that kind of stuff. But only once I have that skill, I'll never go into something that I don't have knowledge about and try and teach about it. Because what's the point of that? You're just going to be taking innocent people's money and then not give them the service that they're happy with. That's why when I saw trading, I was like, let me just go for this year instead of all the many other side hustles that I saw online. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so you were trying to find hustles and then eventually you just stopped by Forex and like, But how do you even stumble upon Forex right now? Do you stumble upon it, or is it just a thing of you knew it was there when you were Googling how to make money online?
So I didn't even know like that you could have traded Forex. Like I knew Forex, of course, because it's like a worldwide thing. But I didn't know that you could trade like gold and NASDAQ and that kind of stuff. Then I was on YouTube one day and I just saw FX codes that they posted a video of like how to trade with their support and their resistance. Like, okay, let me see what this is. It looks interesting. I mean, they had those like good thumbnails with their i8 and all that kind of cars. So I said, let me check this thing out and see what it is. Then I saw the charts, everything. I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. I watched a few videos more and more. I started learning like how the market moves, that kind of stuff. Then I was like, okay, let me just stick to this here from now on.
Yeah. So after that one video, sparked interest.
100% from there.
Just sold. At this point, how old are you?
I'm 21.
You're 21? No, not when you learning.
When I was learning, I was, I think, 18, 19 years old.
19. Okay. And then after you start, how do you start learning? Where do you get your information from? Do you get a mentor? Like, what's the process? Can you walk us through the process?
So for me, I didn't want to go with any mentors. I said I can do it by myself. I can learn the skill by myself. So after I got introduced to Forex, like through those videos on YouTube, then I said, okay, I can learn how the market moves. So I kid you not, like I used to look at the charts for at least 8 to 10 hours per day. Really like just studying how the market moves. It wasn't any like specific pair. Just go on to TradingView, whatever pair comes up first. I just click on that there and just look at the chart and see, okay, it goes to this level, has a reaction of that level, goes to this level, it reacts like this. I would just like sit there and just kind of understand why the market moves at these certain times, from this certain time, how it moves. And just from there, I just literally just like studied the charts. I didn't try anything else. I just focused on trading itself. Just learned, okay, support, resistance. When it comes here, I'm going to take a buy, I'm going to take a sell. And from there, just took off.
Yeah. As you watching the charts and you are you like writing everything down?
No, so for me, I'm not so much of like a writer.
Okay.
I'm also like, if I see something, then I can learn from it. I'm more of a visual learner.
Okay.
So that's why when I was like watching the charts, it made more sense to me. So I can like see what's happening. Even when I was in school, I wasn't like the best of students. I wasn't failing, but I wasn't obviously getting like the 80s, the 90s that my parents wanted.
You were just
I was just
in
passing
school,
like the
just
50, 60%. That day
Yeah.
I was happy with, because
Okay.
that's what like for me made sense. I would rather like look at the teacher that was teaching on the board instead of writing down notes. When the teacher came to my books, it was empty. But I would like tell them like, okay, I'm looking at what you do and I understand it. If you give me a question, I can answer it for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why for me, looking at the charts was a bit like made more sense. I don't have a trading journal, nothing like that at
Do you
all.
have a photographic memory?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think that's a gift right there.
Yeah,
The talent.
definitely.
Yeah. So now, what happens after this now?
So from there, it came to matric. That's when it was like I was like fully focusing on trading. So I had my final exam, that kind of stuff. Obviously, I did study for it, but I was more like focused on trading, learning that skill. So for many hours a day, like I was saying, 8 to 10 hours, I was just focusing on like learning the charts. I would study for a bit, go back to my charts, look at it, and then after that day, of course, my exams came for grade 12. Once I was done with the exam, I said, okay, now I'm free. I'm going to take a gap year. So after matric, I didn't go to university, anything. I took a gap year. I said, let me find out what I want to actually do with my life. If trading is meant for me, I'll know in this year. If I give it a full 12 months, see if it works out or not, then I can go forward with it. If it doesn't, I'll just apply to universities, go with the normal route, 9-to-5 job, which isn't obviously bad. But obviously, I wanted like a bit more out of life. That's why I gave trading like a proper chance first. Because many people don't give it like a proper chance and then they'll call it a scam.
Yeah.
They'll only do it for maybe 2 or 3 months. They'll see losses. Then they say, okay, I lost too much now. This is a scam. Let me leave it alone. But they don't understand that you have to give something like a proper time period to actually like play itself out and work itself out. If it doesn't work after that day, it's not like your life's going to end. You still have so many more years to, figure out what you can do. And then by the grace of God, of course, it actually started like working out. I started seeing some small profits, of course. I wasn't trading like big accounts at that time, of course, because I had no job. Nothing like that. It was just funded by my parents. Well, I'm going, Daddy, can you give me 1,000 rand? Mommy, 1,000 rand. I would blow that account. I would say, okay, let me go to my sister now. 1,000 rand, yeah. So then from there, I started seeing like small profits, maybe like making like $500 a day, $700 a day from that 1K. I said, okay, this has potential. I mean, if you think about it, you invest in 1,000 rand to get back 700 rand, which is a 70% increase, which obviously no other investment or business can give you. That's where I like, in my mind, like it made sense to do that because it was yielding such a good like return for me. So then from there, after that day, I said, okay, let me go to university, try it out as well. Like I said, you have to give everything a shot.
Okay.
So I wasn't making that like huge profits in that 1 year. So obviously it wasn't enough to like sustain myself, to live off of it. So my parents said, okay, you aren't like fully fledged as a trader now. Try out university for 1 year. So I said, okay, I went to Wits. I studied a quantity surveying, which is like a construction, or like the math behind construction, like a very stressful, very heavy degree. Then from there, I saw that it's not for me. I was failing outright. I kid you not, for statistics, I got 25% for my end of year mark.
Ooh.
When I saw that day, I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. It's not for me. If I'm failing so bad, when I get to my further years, it becomes harder.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be failing and paying more and paying more. Then I said, okay, now it was, I think, September of 2023 when I was still in Wits. I said, okay, let me open up my groups because I do know how to trade.
So the whole year, did you not even bother yourself with Forex, or were you trading on the side?
I was still trying like to do it with like the small 1K account, 2K accounts.
Okay.
Just to like make money to like spend on food and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Nothing to like sustain myself off of to live with.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, let me open up my groups because now I do see that I have a proper winning strategy that's like consistently bringing in small profits. Let me open up my free group first. So I started FX Killers in 2023 in September, around that time or so. And I started posting videos on TikTok, on Instagram, like flipping my account from 1K to 3K. I posted like the journey behind it basically. So I posted on TikTok one video, which was a 1,000 to 10,000 challenge. I went to bed that night, wake up the next day, it's on 300K views. People are messaging me like crazy. Please, can we join your group? Can you mentor me? This, that. So I did see like a very big business opportunity there, of course, to like sell those services to them. So that's when I opened up the groups. I sent them my link for my WhatsApp group, my Telegram group, that kind of stuff. I got like 1,000 members in like the first 2 or 3 months. So I saw that there was very big potential if I do it properly. Then in my free group first, I would just send out like free signals, free analysis, that kind of stuff, all for completely free, to basically get people to trust me, to say, okay, this guy knows what he's actually doing. That there for 2 or 3 months consistently, people made some good profits. That's when I announced my VIP group, my mentorship, all that kind of stuff. Then from there, just been going up. I mean, just keep on posting consistently on TikTok, Instagram. You just like, show your skill instead of flexing. That's when I like went to my parents, like sat them down saying, okay, I have a skill now. I need money to trade properly.
Sure.
So they gave me like obviously a bigger amount to trade with, which from there I just started growing and growing. Not like flipping the account, of course, because you can't flip a big account because it's really big, right?
I mean,
it is possible.
It is possible.
But of course, like you don't want to risk that 50K on one NFP, for example.
Yeah.
So I like grew it properly, proper risk management, only like 4 or 5% gain per day.
So basically, you just came to them like with a proof of concept,
Exactly.
saying that, hey guys, look, it works.
100%. And then from there, they said, okay, we're going to trust you with it now. You can try it out and see if it actually works. Then from there, I saw like consistent profits up until almost the end of 2023. I was still inverts. I said, okay, I now show you guys results. You can see I'm actually making money with trading, also selling my services like the signals, the mentorship. There's some good money in that as well. Then they said, okay, if you want to drop out now, you can. I said, let me go for it. Let me fully focus now on being not so much of a mentor, but more of like a full-time trader. Then from there, 2024, my first year of just like full-time trading. Every single day I wake up, London session, look for a trade. If you don't find a trade in London, you go to New York session, and then just from there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. But I like how your journey is basically, you kind of just respectful in your whole journey, especially to the people around you. It's not a thing of like, no, let me disrespect school, let me disrespect this. No, it's a thing of like, I like that you gave school a chance, It's just like, no.
You have to, for different people, they have like different callings.
Okay.
So some people might enjoy going to a job. They might enjoy studying for a test. For me, I didn't enjoy that from school time. Like I was saying, I was like just above failing essentially in school. So I knew that like that route wasn't for me. So I had to find a different route. And I guess this year was my calling to be a full-time trader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Now, I just want to go back a little bit.
Okay.
What was the first... Do you remember the first loss that actually hit you? Have you taken like a loss that really hit you?
So it wasn't so much of like a big loss, like I was saying, because it was always like small accounts.
Okay.
So when you blow in that 1K, 2K account, it's not really like hitting you that much because it's not like a massive account. But of course, as time goes on in those early days when you like consistently blow in the accounts, it adds up. If you blow in like your 1K account every day of the week, by the end of the week, you're down 5K. And for me, it wasn't my 5K. It was my parents' 5K. So at the end of the week on Friday, they would come to me and say, okay, where's the results? Where's our money? And I would show them there, the balance is now minus 100. They say, what happened there? I say, I'm still learning. Just give me some time to do it. So there wasn't any like significant losses in the start just because it was small accounts. But I know that if my parents gave me like bigger capital, I would have probably lost it. And then there would have been some problems with that day, of course. But there wasn't any big losses in the start.
Okay. No, by the time you had assistance from your parents, what was the plan? Did you have like a plan, a business plan? Like, how did you approach it? Because right now you're asking for a large sum of money, but before then you were trading smaller amounts. Because obviously the psychology is very different.
Yeah, of course, it changes.
Yeah. So what was your process of preparation?
So for me, when I went to my parents with that like proposal to obviously like fund me with a bigger amount, it was basically just to say that, listen, I have this skill right now. You see that I'm doing it on a smaller account. I want to obviously like scale my business now to a bigger amount. So I went to them and I said, okay, listen, if you give me this amount here, I'm not going to promise you 100% return, but I am going to give you steady gains basically to pay back what I've taken from you before and like what I've lost, essentially.
Yeah.
So from there, I just like targeted like small risk to reward ratios, like 1:2, 1:3. I didn't hold trades for long. I didn't trade NFP, CPI, nothing of that sort. Just clear cut, just on the charts, just normal trading essentially. And then from there, you just, you have small gains. On the bigger account, you make maybe say 10% for the week. You withdraw a bit, pay them back. You take some money out for yourself as well.
Yeah.
You go have a nice supper at the end of the week.
Yeah.
Just to like enjoy a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. From there, you just pay them back a bit, show them that it's actually like results.
Okay.
So they're also happy with it.
Yeah.
And from there.
No, that's cool. So we move on now, 2023, 2024, we're going to 20. How's your first year of trading? Like right now, you're full-time trading. Right. How's the first year?
So the first year for me was actually like very, very good.
Okay.
Because for me, I don't know if you know, like with the groups and stuff like that, I was very, very consistent. So even with my signals, I would barely ever lose. So I would always have these A+ setups that I make sure that I would never miss. So for me, there was barely any losses in that first like full year of trading. It was mainly just like making profits, compounding the account every single day, just growing it every single day. More so like sustainable growth.
Yeah.
So that first year was basically what paved the way for me to where I am today.
Okay.
Because then it obviously like sets you up with a nice amount of capital when I can only risk 1 or 2% per day and you're still making a decent amount, which many other businesses obviously won't make for you in a day. So yeah, I mean, the first year was actually very, very good. Of course, it wasn't all my hard work. Of course, I have to attribute most of it to God because without Him, there's nothing that can happen. So yeah.
You talk about A+ setups. What constitutes an A+ setup in your books? Like, if you're looking for a setup, what would be an A+ setup? Like, what's the criteria for an A+ setup?
Okay, so firstly, I trade the strategy known as support and resistance, right?
Okay.
So on the 1 hour time frame, I'll put in my support, my resistance. I'll then scale down to the 15-minute time frame. I'll wait for the market to get to either the support or the resistance and have an engulfing candle. So if it has an engulfing candle, that means that the price has now rejected from that area. So for me, I always like to buy on gold. So I wait for it to come to the support, have an engulfing 15-minute candle, take my entry, stop loss below the lows, and that's for me an A+ setup. It's extremely simple.
Yeah, no, it's very simple. Is that it?
Literally, that's all it is. Even if it comes to the resistance, wait for it to have a bearish engulfing 15-minute candle, take a sell.
Yeah,
that's it.
But I'm guessing majority of your trades are probably buys.
Yeah,
of
most
course.
of them are on gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a buy bias overall? Or
overall, it's always been a bias on gold.
Okay.
I mean, that time gold was trading in like the 1,000 something dollars.
Okay.
Now it's obviously at 3,000 something dollars.
Yeah.
So you can see the bias to buy was obviously way stronger than to sell.
Yeah.
So that's why I just went with the wave. Because my thinking is, if everybody's going with buyers, why should I be that one black sheep out of all the white sheep and be different? Let me rather be with them and just, go with the momentum to the upside.
Yeah. I think people do that. The people who decide to be the black sheep, they want to have that one trade.
That massive trade.
Yeah, in the history books.
It's true. Yeah.
And I think people chasing those trades, it's tricky. Why gold? Why do you trade gold?
So for me, when I got into it, right, I first asked like the priest and stuff in Islam if I can be trading.
Oh,
so he said, yes, you can trade, but you only trade like specific things. So for me, he said that NASDAQ and US 30, there's a bit of like a gray area.
Okay.
Because those companies deal with like interest, they deal with pork, they deal with beer, maybe for example.
Oh.
That obviously isn't like allowed in Islam.
Okay.
So then he said that gold is fully halal, they say. So that's why you can trade it. Oh. So that's why I didn't want to like cut myself short if I was trading NASDAQ and US 30. I had to give like 30% of my profits away to like charity.
Okay.
Because they said that there was like the gray area at 30%.
Okay.
So I said, why must I work so hard, make profit, and then give away like a percentage of it? Try something that's fully halal and just, keep all the profit for myself instead.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, many people don't know it.
Yeah.
But that's why I made sure to first find out if it's like halal to do. So yeah.
Sure. Wow. Okay, I guess we learn something new every day.
Of course.
Nah, that's cool. Okay, so you're trading it because of your faith and belief.
Exactly. Yeah, and then after a while, I just saw that gold is the best asset to be trading.
Sure.
I mean, currency pairs, yes, they do move, but they move too slow for me. You have to be using a very big account, a very big lot size for it to get paid on currencies. And Nasdaq and US 30, they only start moving after 3:30.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to wait the whole day to start trading then. Gold is moving, London session, Asian session, New York session, the entire day is moving. So if I can trade something that's moving throughout the whole day, it's a lot easier than having to, wait for this specific time to trade. It's a lot easier like that.
Are you a day trader?
Yeah. Day
Okay.
trader.
On average, how many trades do you take a day?
So I have a rule, right? You
Okay.
only take between 1 to 3 trades per day. If you win your first trade, you're done for the day.
Okay.
If you lose all 3 trades, you're done for the day as well. So you don't over trade basically. That's why the rule is there. Because many people, what they do is if you lose 3 trades in a row, then your mind switches now. You want to now revenge trade. So you want to make back that losses. So that's why I put that rule in place where if I have 3 losing trades in a row, I'm done for the day. I'll come back the next day. If I have my first trade as a winning trade, I'll make sure that I bank most of my profit in that trade, leave my runners to, go even further in my direction, make more and more profit. But I'll make sure that my stop loss is at entry. So if it comes back to entry, I'll be taken out, but I know I made profit when I closed at this specific area. So yeah, there is 1 to 3 trades per day, and that's it.
What's the good risk-reward ratio, especially when trading gold as a day trader?
Right.
Yeah.
I would say a 1:1 is a minimum, of course.
Yeah.
Then my go-to 1:2, 1:3.
Okay.
I don't go any higher than that because gold is so volatile. It could go to your targets, then it's reversed completely.
Yeah.
So for me, once I get to my target area, I close off my full trade. If it goes further up, then so be it. It's fine by me. As long as I know I made my profit, I'm happy with it. So between 1:1 to 1:3, that's my sweet spot that I just stay in.
Yeah. In terms of setting unrealistic targets, do you think a lot of people set unrealistic targets with their trading?
Of course. So people don't even set their risk to reward ratios. Many people that I've seen, that I've mentored before, they rather set an amount that they want to make. So they go into the market saying, I want to make 10K today, instead of rather saying, I want to target this specific area or, get a 1:2 risk to reward ratio. They rather go into it with the concept of, I want to make money. When that shouldn't be your entire goal of trading. Yes, of course, it is mostly about making money, but it's also about having that skill and knowing when to open your trade and knowing when to close your trades, that kind of stuff. So for me, unrealistic targets is just, it might pay you one day, but for the next few days, if you don't reach those targets, you're obviously going to hit stop loss. It's either one of the two. Hit take profit, hit stop loss. So for me, rather just bank your small profits along the way. It's going to add up throughout the week. It's going to compound, snowball effect. And Friday, you're sitting there and you're smiling.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people really do hope for things to happen. Because I'm just listening to how you're just talking and you're basically just saying the reason why you do 1:2, 1:3 at most is because gold is so volatile.
Yes.
And I think some people don't consider such things. They just no, you know what? This is going all the way up.
let me just hold. I want a bit more, more. Next thing, it's gone. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no. I want to talk about what's your daily trading routine?
So it's not so much of a routine.
Okay.
It's more so because I have the freedom of time right now.
Yeah.
With trading full time. It's just wake up in the morning by latest 9 o'clock because London opens at 9:30. Look for a setup. If I don't have a setup, I can do my other work, manage my other companies. If I'm done with that work, I can go back to the charts, look for a trade. It's not so much where I'm putting myself in this box where I have to have a trade during this session. The markets are open throughout the whole day. So whenever my session comes to me, when the market comes to me, I'll take a trade. I never want to chase after the markets. So that's why for me, the whole idea of having a routine wasn't the best. Because when you put yourself into a routine, especially in trading, you're basically forcing yourself to take a trade during this specific time. And that is obviously going to lead to you making impulsive decisions. And then that leads to obviously making losses. So that's why I'd rather just be free. If the market has a setup, I'll take one. If not, I'll just sit back and wait for it to come to me instead.
Sure. How do you deal with losing streaks?
So
do you have losing streaks?
I'll be honest with you, for the last 2 years that I've been doing it, I had only 1 week where I actually lost. like I was in a negative for the week.
Okay.
Every other week has been profitable.
Okay.
And I have proof of that there in my Signal group. Like you can see the entire trade I'm taking. I send my screenshots, my profits, every single thing. There are losses throughout the week,
Okay.
but overall for the week, profitable. There was a losing streak. I think it was in this year.
Okay.
Where for the week, so maybe like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we had profit, then Thursday, Friday we had losses. So there are losses, of course, but for me, I rather focus on the overall picture for the entire week.
Yeah.
And then take it like that.
But have you had like a week where it was just bad?
So just that 1 week that I had.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really like affect me much because I'm keeping to my risk to reward ratios. So I know that, okay, come next week, I'll do the exact same thing, look for the exact same setups. I'll take it, make my profit. I'll just recover those losses. It's not so much of where I want to make back the loss in that same day, in that same week. It's more so I know that I have still 3 weeks left of the month. Let me spread it out. If I lost maybe say 3% in that week, I have to only make maybe say 1% for the next 3 days to make it back. It's a very simple process.
Yeah. You know, I know they say trading is one of the very few professions where it's you versus it's just you know, you get exposed to the real you.
It's true.
But it can also be very isolating.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It can be, definitely. I mean, for me, like when I take a trade in the morning and I hit my targets, I'm done for the day. If I didn't have my other companies that I run, I would really just be watching movies the entire day. But of course, thank God I do have other things to be doing. But of course, if you don't, you're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're living alone by yourself. If you take a trade, you make profit. Now what? You can't just keep on scrolling on TikTok the whole day. You'll get completely burnt out.
Yeah.
So it can be very isolating. That's why I say if you have a chance to join a community with traders, even if it's fully online, I would say do it, because then at least you know you have like some support system behind you. If you're having a bad week, you can like go and talk to them and say, okay, this is what I like happened. Where can I improve this? That if you're alone, you're gonna go crazy. Of course, anything in life, if you're alone, you'll go crazy.
Yeah. Why is it so important for you to kind of show the real side of trading?
So for me, like I've seen, of course, all these other traders online on Instagram, on TikTok, how they showing like, it's like tap my link in my bio and you'll get this car. You get the C63, you'll get this Golf 7 GTI, this, that. For me, I saw the real side of it. Like if you are a trader, you're not going to be able to obviously like afford those kind of things straight away. So why would somebody come online and try and sell that dream to innocent people that's also trying to make a living from trading? It's not like ethical to me for them to be doing that, like selling a dream instead of selling the skill instead. So that for me is why I want to show people like the true side of trading, that it's not a get rich quick scheme. Yes, you can get rich with it, but you have to do it over time. You have to treat it like how you treat any other business or job. You have to go into the markets like how you clock into your office every single day, sit down, focus on your job, which is to get a setup in the market. Do that there consistently, and you'll see the actual side of trading. It's not just all blue screens. There will be losses. There will be times when, you know, you're struggling to find a setup. The market isn't moving nice. It's just consolidating. It's not giving you the move you want. So that's why I say, let me come into this industry to show people what it actually is.
Do you think I feel like people don't believe that though. And as much as you can come here and sit and say all of that, which is the truth, I feel like people still don't want to believe that about Forex.
For me, it's people
just
want
trading
to,
as a whole. Yeah.
Right. So people want to get that quick money, basically.
Yeah.
They want that dopamine hit where they enter a trade now for NFP, it spikes up, they make 200K, they can withdraw, they can go buy a brand new car, or they can go and buy LV shoes or this or that. So that's why I think people are more so after the fact that they want to make quick money. They don't want to go through the actual process of getting to the money instead. They want to just go directly there. They don't want to go through the entire process of actually doing it.
Yeah. What are some of the money management skills or tips that you would have for people that you have learned yourself over the past few years?
For me, the main thing is designer clothes.
Okay.
If you have money, for me, there's no point in going and buying a 30,000 Rand LV shoe. Of course, like if you have so much of money that you can do it, then you can. But if you're like a normal person like how I am, and you don't have millions and millions behind you, there's no point in going to buy so expensive clothes just to look good, to impress people. That's what many people are doing nowadays. I see on Instagram that kind of stuff. They go in and they buy in LV, Gucci just to wear it for one video. And then they look at their bank account, they can't even afford to buy another one because they spend all their money on that. It's rather you make money from trading and then you delegate it to work for you. So you make your money work for you by investing in other businesses instead, which can then set you up for your entire life. There's no point in having that temporary joy now with, going and splurging 5K on supper when you can go to McDonald's, buy a meal for 25 Rand instead, and you know that your stomach is full. Why would you go and spend your last money on such expensive things when you can either, make more money from that money instead?
Where do you think you picked up that mentality though? Because I think obviously we know how the industry is, and it's just like, once I got money,
you just splurge it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go spend.
So for me, it was through my family.
Okay.
Because, of course, like thank God, like my family wasn't like poor in that sense. We were like middle class.
Okay.
So they knew how to always like manage money. So when they saw like the first big money coming into my account, that kind of stuff, they said, okay, listen, we know that you want to spend. Of course, when any like young boy gets money, the first thing he wants is like a nice car.
Yeah.
He wants to go and buy jewelry, this, that, obviously impress the woman all the time. So that's why they like sat me down, they explained to me, listen, okay, you're getting some good money and now rather set yourself up for the future instead of just having nice things now, which will probably be gone by the time you want to like start a family up. So that's why my parents like taught me rather manage your money correctly so that you know that you'll always have. Because of course money is a very important part to life. If you don't have money, you can't live a good life, of course.
Yeah.
So that's why they taught me that, and I'm of course very thankful to my parents and my family for that. If it wasn't for them, I would probably pulled up here with that Carl 7 GTI, full Gucci, Louis Vuitton, everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see like normal clothes. It's comfortable. It's a lot better.
Yeah. Wealth, you've got a very wealth focused mindset, I will say.
Of course.
And I think that's what a lot of people actually don't get. I think a lot of people want to be rich, thinking that it's wealth, but it's two completely different things.
It is, definitely. I mean, having money and having wealth is very, very different. Wealth is more so where your time is completely free. Because I see many rich people, they work in 24/7. Yes, they drive in Rolls Royces, this, that, they're wearing APs on their wrist, but they have no time for themselves compared to a wealthy man, which has so much more time to be spending with his family, to be focusing on his religion, that kind of stuff, being a better person, essentially. So that's for me is like the main difference between being rich and being wealthy.
Yeah. Gee, like, I don't know. I still want to go back to I'm extremely fascinated by like the whole Islam and gold thing and that's how you chose that.
Right.
For me, I'm so fascinated by that. I know you told me everything. I feel like I want to ask like one more question.
No, you can, definitely.
On that. No, I don't have any more questions, but I feel like I just want more information on that.
I mean, the only thing I can tell you about it is like in Islam, we call it riba. So that's interest. So it's said in the Quran that when anybody that deals with interest, whether paying it or receiving it or even managing the interest, they wage in a war against our God, against Allah. So that, of course, is something very major, of course. If you wage in war against your creator, it's massive. So that's why we make sure that we stay away from it completely. That's why when the Mulana or the priest told me that, listen, you can't be trading these kind of things because these companies, of course, they're dealing with interest. That's how they're making their money. That's how their stock price goes up. You can't be profiting off of that. Even though you aren't like directly profiting off of their interest going up, the fact that their stock prices is soaring because of their interest earnings being higher than expected, that kind of stuff, that's why you can't be trading it. And then, of course, the factor of like alcohol, of pork, that's obviously not allowed to be consumed by Muslims. So we can't buy it, we can't sell it, we can't even touch it. So that's why when they say that there could be companies dealing with it in the NASDAQ, in the US 30, even though they might not be right now, those companies are always changing. The top 30, the top 100 companies. So for me to like track those companies every single like 2 hours of the day was going to be too time consuming. So that's why when they say gold is like, fully halal to be trading, it was like a currency back then. So you can do it now. It's perfectly fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Moving forward, like, I want to talk about diversification actually.
Right.
It seems like you've been somebody who's received money and being able to diversify.
Right.
Why did you see the need for that? Do you not think that Forex could have been something that could have sustained you just alone?
So it definitely can sustain me.
Okay.
If I don't open up the other companies that I have right now.
Yeah.
I'll still be able to live a very good life off of Forex. But like going back to that point of being wealthy and being rich,
Yeah.
Forex can make you rich. But having multiple different companies is what going to make you wealthy. And that's what I want. I don't want to just be rich for myself. I want to make sure that my parents are taken care of. If my siblings ever need money, they can have it. If my brother wants a car, I can go and buy him a car right now. And that's going to only come through having wealth. Because of course, if you're rich through Forex, yes, you might have maybe 500K in your account. You can't go and buy him a brand new car. And you sit there with nothing at all. But when you're wealthy, okay, you know you have this company every single day is bringing you in money. You have this, you have that. There's multiple streams of income that's basically making you money. Also putting all your eggs into one basket. If that basket must drop, your eggs are gone. That's why for me, I'll put 2 eggs here, 2 eggs here. So I know if one fails, I have a backup. That's the way I do it.
What do you feel like you sacrificed for you to be where you are today?
Mostly just my time. I mean, like I was saying in the start, where I was just looking at the charts, 8 to 10 hours per day. I mean, I could have been playing Fortnite during that time instead. But I said, let me rather focus on what's going to improve my life. So for me, the main thing that I sacrificed was just my time. I mean, many other people like the gurus out there, they say that they sacrifice their family and their friends. But for me, I don't think that's necessary. If you just sacrifice your time to learn a skill, then you can still be able to, have good family time, have friends, go out, basically still enjoy life. So for me, it's just my time that I had to give up for those few months, few years, just to get my skill up. And then from there, it just flows.
Yeah. How do you maintain a healthy mindset?
So for me, it's also going to the gym.
Okay.
Is one major thing. I mean, like you were saying, if you're going to be so like confined by yourself, so alone, you're going to go crazy. So that's why I was saying, like, if you're going out with your friends, you having like personal connections with people, you always like, you aren't just in your room focusing on just the charts the whole time. You have to get out, you have to touch grass, as they say.
Yeah.
You have to also do other things like, you go and play soccer, you go for a swim, you go for a run, go to the gym, pick up some weights, get that like blood moving in your body so you can keep your mind healthy. If you have a healthy body, have a healthy mind. From there, you can think better, you can make better decisions, make more money.
What's one thing about training psychology that you think a lot of people are missing completely?
For psychology,
Yeah.
it would be the losing aspect.
Okay.
People think that trading is just about winning, but it's actually how can you manage your losses. That's one of the major points that I teach in my mentorship, where instead of focusing on how you can win, focus on how you can minimize your losses instead. Because if you keep your losses small, that obviously means that your winners are going to be bigger than your losses. I mean, your account will always be in profit. So for me, it's just the fact that like, if you can keep your psychology like on track with the losing part of trading, when it comes to winning, it'll be extremely easy. You just make sure that you keep your losses small. You don't overtrade. You don't revenge trade. When you're done for the day, you leave the markets alone completely. You don't go back and back and back the whole time. You just stick to that day, and your psychology will just fall into place. Yeah.
No, perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing remarks?
Literally just, if you want to be a trader, just know that you're going to have to sacrifice your time. It's not going to be an easy journey. It's going to require you to sacrifice your time, like I was saying, to learn how the market moves. Like, yes, a mentor can teach you so much, but it has to come from yourself to like understand the markets in full. It has to be seen by you. So if you're looking to do it, just know it's a very hard journey, but it's a very worthwhile thing to be doing. I mean, you can make lots of money with it, of course, which everybody is after. You can also lose a lot if you do it incorrectly. And yeah, like I was saying also earlier, if you like want to join a community, make sure you do your proper research behind them. Make sure that the person has the FSP license, like we all know the FSCA is cracking down on people.
Yeah.
So make sure that if they don't have the FSP, at least they are a rep for an FSP, like how I am. So I'm like licensed to be doing the signals, to be doing the mentorship. Nothing can go wrong, basically.
Yeah.
So just make sure you do your like due diligence. Make sure you know the person is trustworthy person. And yeah, just go for it.
Yeah. And you already pointed everything I was going to ask. How do we actually who do we consider somebody who to be good?
Right.
But you went through all the whole list. Yeah, no, Safwaan, thank you so much. It was such an enlightening conversation.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I appreciate it so much for just taking time to just come sit with us and just come share with you. And I hope you guys at home are happy. I hope I didn't miss anything. But you came and you gave, and we really do appreciate that.
No problem at all.
No, thank you. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want Safwaan's details, they'll be on screen and they'll be down in the description below. So if you guys want to reach out to him, you guys can do that. All right, guys. Thank you for watching with myself, Mohamed. I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. We're out.